All right, thanks, guys. We went 5-1 in our 6 premium sports picks on BrockPage.com yesterday. We're also 4-0 in our last 4 board member tier package picks on that very same webpage. And the good news is we have another board member tier package pick going off here this evening. We currently have over 915 members who are signed up and active on BrockPage.com. And if you want to see which one of these free YouTube picks on my channel that I'm actually betting on personally, there's only one way to do that, and that's to sign up for a membership on my website at BrockPage.com. The Leafs take on the Hurricanes, 7 o'clock Eastern puck drop. Carolina's minus 120, total is 6 goals. Freddie Anderson is the expected netminder for Carolina, taking on his old teammates, Jack Campbell for Toronto. Now, Campbell's having a really good start to the season for Toronto. Having said that, though, the Leafs are currently on a 3-game losing streak, and they're also currently winless on the road. Now, the Leafs are struggling to score goals this year. They're averaging only 2 goals a game, and they currently rank in the bottom 10 in first period scoring. Now, they're taking on a Carolina team who's on a 4-game winning streak themselves. They're playing some really good hockey right now. Frederik Andersen is 4-0 with a 175 goals against average and a 944 save percentage. The Canes are currently leading the NHL in fewest goals allowed per contest. Meanwhile, offensively, these guys are in the top 5 in scoring on average per game. Andrei Svechnikov has 4 goals thus far in the year, 7 total points. Meanwhile, Teravainen and Aho, they each have 6 total points on the year as well. Now, total-wise, 4 out of Carolina's last 5 contests failed to get over the total of 6 goals. Meanwhile, Toronto's 4-2 to the under for the entire season themselves. I'm going to lean toward Carolina minus 120 in the under 6. Next contest, Flames, Rangers, 7 o'clock East. New York's minus 135, totals 5.5. Igor Shesterkin for New York. Jacob Markstrom for the Flames. Despite some pretty good numbers out of Markstrom, the Flames have lost 2 out of their last 4. Calgary's been struggling offensively. They're in the bottom 5 in third period scoring, and they're averaging only 2.7 goals a game. They've also dropped 6 out of their last 7 contests against the Rangers at Madison Square Garden. So if you're into historical trends, of course that dates back to last year, but certainly, actually the last couple of years, but certainly keep that factor in mind. And speaking of the Rangers, they're on a 4-game winning streak themselves, and they allowed just 5 total goals during that stretch. New York's allowing only 2.1 goals per contest, and they're in the top 10 in fewest third-period goals allowed. Fox and Lindgren are +4 when they're on the ice. Pretty good production out of those 2 defensemen. Meanwhile, Igor Shesterkin is 3-0 thus far in the season with a 148 goals against average and a 953 save percentage. Now, total-wise, New York's 6-0 to the under thus far in the year. I'm going to lean toward the New York Rangers minus 135 and the under 5.5. Next game, Lightning, Sabres, 7 o'clock Eastern start time. Tampa Bay's minus 210, number 6. Andrei Vasilevsky for Tampa Bay. Craig Anderson for Buffalo. Anderson's won 2 out of his last 3 starts. 201 goals against average, 933 save percentage. The Sabres have cashed in on the puck line in 3 out of their last 5 contests. Top 3 in the league in goals allowed per game. Jacob Bryson's a +3 when he's on the ice. 3 total points for the defenseman as well. They're taking on a Lightning team who's done a bad job cashing in on the puck line. Just 1-4 against the number overall for the year. 0-2 against the number when traveling. Tampa's in the bottom 3 in goals allowed per contest. Andrei Vasilevsky also comes into today's start with a .313 goals against average and an .893 save percentage. Now, total-wise, 2 out of Tampa's last 3 contests did stay under the total. 3 out of Buffalo's last 4 fell under the line as well. I'm going to lean toward the Sabres +1.5 and the under 6. Next game, Stars, Blue Jackets, 7 o'clock East. Dallas is minus 135, totals 5.5. Braden Holtby for the Stars. Elvis Merzlikins for Columbus. Merzlikins is 3-0 thus far in the season. 163 goals against, 947 save percentage. Columbus is 3-1 straight up on their home ice. And they're in the top 3 in fewest first period goals allowed. Vlad Gavrikov's a +4. He also has 4 total points. Meanwhile, scoring-wise, Boone Jenner's the team leader with 4 goals. And speaking of scoring, Dallas hasn't done a whole lot of it this year. Bottom 10 in scoring on average per game. Bottom 10 in offensive shots on goal. Dallas is averaging just 2 goals a game when they travel. Now, when it comes to the number in this one, Dallas is 4-0 to the under on the road. 5-0 to the under for the entire season. Meanwhile, Columbus saw 3 out of their last 4 fall under the line themselves. I'm going to lean toward Columbus plus $1.15 and the under 5.5. Next contest, Capitals, Senators, 7 o'clock Eastern puck drop. Washington is minus 170, total 6. Ilya Samsonov for Washington, Anton Forsberg for Ottawa. Forsberg's just 1-2 with a .344 goals against average. The Senators are also in the bottom 10 in offensive shots on goal, and they average just 2 goals per contest. They're taking on a Washington team who won 2 out of their last 3, and they lead the NHL in defensive shots on goal. The Caps are allowing only 25 shots on goal a game. Ilya Samsonov's got a .233 goals against average, .902 save percentage. Meanwhile, offensively, the Caps are led by Alex Ovechkin, who has 5 goals and 10 points. Now, Tom Wilson's also second in the NHL as a +8. I'm going to lean toward Washington, minus 170, and the under 6. Next contest, Coyotes, Panthers, 7 o'clock Eastern start time. Florida's minus 420, total 6. Spencer Knight for the Panthers, Carter Hutton for Arizona. As terrible as Hutton's been, there's just way too much parity in the NHL for a price point this high, this absurd. Arizona's also held the Panthers to just 2.7 goals a game in their last 10 meetings. The Coyotes are currently in the top 10 in defensive shots on goal. So these guys aren't completely helpless. They are taking on a Florida team who's in the bottom 10 in shots allowed per contest. The Panthers are allowing 36 shots on goal a game at home. When it comes to the number in this one, 2 out of Florida's last 3 got over the posted total. Meanwhile, the Coyotes saw 3 out of their last 5 get over the line. They're also 5-4 to the over in their last 10 meetings. Last 9 meetings with the Panthers. Give me Arizona plus 1.5 and the over 6. Next and final matchup, Kings, Blues, 8 o'clock East. St. Louis is minus 180, totals 5.5. Jordan Binnington for St. Louis, Jonathan Quick for Los Angeles. Now, Quick comes into today's start with an .887 save percentage. LA's currently in the bottom 10 in goals allowed per contest, winless in 3 games on the road. They're taking on an undefeated Blues team who's leading the NHL in scoring. David Perron's got 5 goals and 2 assists on the season. Meanwhile, Jordan Kyrou's got 8 total points, mostly thanks to 6 assists. The Blues are ripping 35 shots on goal a game. They're also leading the NHL in second period scoring. Now, defensively, Jordan Binnington's 4-0 thus far in the year with a .275 goals against average and a .919 save percentage. And of course, those are certainly numbers that are commensurate enough for a team scoring so much. Now, total-wise, St. Louis saw 3 out of their last 4 contests get over the line. 4-2 to the over in their last 6, hosting the Kings. Give me St. Louis minus 180 and the over 5.5. And with that, guys, now it's time for our quick pick recap. Powered to you by my website at brockpage.com, where we are 4-0 in our last 4 board member tier package picks. I like Carolina minus 120, under 6. New York Rangers minus 135, under 5.5. Buffalo plus 1.5, under 6 goals. Columbus plus $1.15, under 5.5. Washington minus 170, under 6 goals. Arizona plus 1.5, over 6. Before I give you my next and final free pick for the video, one final reminder that we are 4-0 in our last 4 board member tier package picks on brockpage.com. We're also 5-0 in our last 5 extra daily picks on that very same site. I'm going to lean towards St. Louis minus 180 in the over 5.5. And with that, guys, now it's time for our shout out of the day. And that's going to go to Oregon 245 Ayana, who said earlier this morning, "Thanks, boss." With that, guys, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on brockpage.com. Now, if you guys do end up getting a membership here today on that website, just keep in mind, you're going to get billed the day you sign up and then the first of every month following that. So if you do end up getting a membership here today on my website, you are going to get access to that content through the end of October. But I do always tell folks in every single video, the earlier in the month you sign up, the better. But most importantly, guys, got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. I really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. With that said, guys, happy Monday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at brockpage.com.